29th parallel, in the stretch that crosses the Sahara, lies Al Jufrah, a center of power for all the people who have ruled this part of the world. The Berbers, Arabs, Ottomans and Italians have all left traces of their presence. Today, the 60,000 inhabitants of Al Jufrah, descendants of the people who once crossed the desert, work in Libya's oil industry or dedicate themselves to the traditional cultivation of date palms. In fact, some of the best dates in the world come from this very area. Cultivating date palms is a particularly profitable activity, allowing the region's farmers to have a decent quality of life and to develop important trade links with Libya's biggest cities and with the people who live in the desert, major consumers of the fruit. The palm has long been at the heart of Al Jufrah's economy and social life. Islam is widespread here, and the religion places a great spiritual value on the tree and its fruit. The 19th surah of the Quran tells of the birth of Jesus. Mary has withdrawn to the desert. Suffering completely alone, she goes into labor at the foot of a palm tree. Her unborn baby consoles her, telling her to shake the trunk and collect the ripe dates.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فجاءها المخاض إلى جذع النخلة قالت يا ليتني مت قبل هذا وكنت نسيا منسيا فناداها من تحتها ألا تحزني قد جعل ربك تحتك سريا وهزي إليك بجذع النخلة تساقط عليك رطبا جنيا فكلي واشربي وقري عينا فإما ترين من البشر أحدا فقولي إني نذرت للرحمن صوما فلن أكلم اليوم إنسيا صدق الله العظيم. أهمية النخلة في الإسلام كانت تزودهم بالتمر في أثناء الجهاد، وهذا الغذاء الوحيد في التاريخ الإسلامي هو التمر، ما فيش غير التمر. والنخلة هذه هي أساس الحياة، لأن النخلة من جميع أوصافها وجميع حركاتها وجميع اللي يطلع منها كله مفيد للإسلام عامة. أيوة. فمن جملة الحديث يقول عليه الصلاة والسلام إذا قامت القيامة وفي يدك فصيلة فازرعها، لأهمية النخلة. التمر، النوى، الحطب، كل ما فيها منفعة للإسلام عامة. حتى العيل عندما يلد من بطن أمه لابد يعملوا له تمرة مفيدة للحيوان، مفيدة للإنسان، مفيدة لكل حي على وجه الأرض.
Skilled craftsmen still transform palm leaves into mats, containers for food, and other everyday objects. The fibers that wrap the trunk are used to make incredibly strong ropes and harnesses that date pickers use to hoist themselves up the trees.
والنخل والتمر يعني له فوائد صحية، يعني حتى في إسلامنا وديننا يحثنا حتى الرسول بأكل الإفطار بالتمور، لأن تحافظ على الجسم وتحافظ على تعديل السكريات في الجسم. يعني حتى النواة يستخدم في عديد من الأشياء، من ضمنها كعلاج ومن ضمنها كزينة للنساء، اللي هو ككحل يحرق ويسحن وزينة للنساء. حسب ما يحكى جدي يقول كل شيء يدلل ما ينفعش ما عدا النخلة. النخلة كل ما ندللوها كل ما تكون تعطينا أحسن وأحسن.
Al Jufrah is a region in central Libya. about 650 kilometers southeast from Tripoli. A large stretched-out basin, it has 5 oases and is surrounded by mountains that encircle different desert environments. This is the desert of 1,000 faces, inviting visitors to stop and savor its silence and endless horizons. During ancient times, this valley found itself in a strategic position. The caravan routes used to transport dates from the south to trade for grains grown along the coast. Men and camels would stop to refresh themselves in the shade of the oases. Over the course of the centuries, the abundance of water in the area persuaded many travelers to settle here permanently. The first settlements bore a curious similarity to Europe's medieval fortified villages, with the castle surrounded by the houses of the common people, all encircled by a defensive wall. Al Jufrah has long been known as the area of Libya best suited to the cultivation of date palms. Al Jufrah's soil composition, water reserves and particular climate all mean that the palms here are highly productive. Cultivation is effectively organic because no synthetic chemical pesticides or fertilizers are used. Libya is still home to 400 different varieties of date palm. The best are Kadrai, Saidi, Bestian, Tagiat, Hamrai, Abel and the superb Khalima, all typical to Al Jufrah. Palms are the vital heart of the oasis. They create their own protection from the sun, concentrate water vapor, attract insects, produce the humus upon which they feed, protect the ground from atmospheric agents, and allow cultivation under their foliage. The oasis is a complex microcosm, which functions according to an interconnected virtuous circle. This highly sustainable ecosystem can renew and even increase the available amount of water in a place where resources are very rare.
However, we didn't have to forget those date palm, which is growing for a long period of time naturally because the water table was close to the ground. You know, at that time, I remember in the 50 or the 60, about 2 meters in some area, 1.5 meters in another area. The farthest one will be 3 meters, but we didn't have to forget, due to tremendous increase in the number of date palm trees, we have really to justify the water demand in order to guarantee a very good production.
In some zones of Al Jufrah, the water-bearing layer has descended to 200 meters. Others have been drawing on fossil mineral water trapped thousands of meters below the surface for more than 20 years. This sulfurous water flows out at a temperature of 70 degrees centigrade. It is left to cool in reservoirs before being mixed with fresh water and pumped to the fields. More recent plantations use the drip irrigation technique, which saves a considerable amount of water. The harvest, which takes place between September and October, is the liveliest time for families who come together to celebrate the fruits of a year's work. In family-run farms, everyone, big and small, participates in the work. The women sort the dates while the men harvest them. Friends and neighbors usually come to give a hand to the men of the family, but recently it has become common to also hire professional climbers who can speedily reach the foliage of even the highest trees. Towards the end of October, when the falling temperatures mean the fruits will not ripen further and will not be picked individually, the remaining bunches are removed from the tree. On the ground, the ripe dates are picked out from the unripe ones. The dates are then sorted further into those for sale, for family use, and for the animals.
بدينا في الثانية هنا بدينا بير أول وقت معاي الأولاد معاي تو وقت التابير وقت جابوا التابير وبروا تو جابوا القطاعة يقطعوا في التمر هذا التمر في اللي نغسلوه نحطوه في الباكوات وفي اللي نحطوه في شكاير وفي اللي نديروا له في عقلة نردموا فيه ما نقدروا احنا وحدنا واعر الظنا ما هم قاعدين عمل وما يلايمون الظنا جاية واعر نخلي واعر عليهم قطاع العويل وبروا نهار صغار يوبروا فيه وحدهم ويقطعوا وحد جلسوا واعر وعمل عندهم خلاص يجيبوا عمال يقطعوا ويلقطوا ويوبر ها
Noi famiglia Gati, diciamo così, abbiamo i datteri dal bisnonno. Poi è venuto il nonno, dopo è venuto il padre, adesso tutti morti è rimasto io.
In the meantime, during the harvest time, usually the men harvest, and we used to use in the past, all the farmer group together in order to harvest the whole farm, and next day they go to the second farm, the good one, in order to use either for storage or for commercial purpose, and the rest of it will be used for their animal usage. And of course, when they store it, it's going to be a support for their consumption daily or daily consumption for the whole, during winter time and early spring.
توينا نصرف في تمر الطغيات وهذا نصرفوا فيه ناكلوا فيه وعندنا شكل آخر العفن اللوحة الكويس ناكلوه والعفن اللوحة ونجول له بل نخزنوه حتى هو ونبيعوه وعندنا الخضراء حتى هو نبيعوا فيه أيوة والمزرعة متاعتي مش متاعت ناس ثانيين ومن حين مات جوزي نجيها من الصبح من الساعة 6 نجي على رجلي للساعة 2 الساعة 3 نمشي نروح خلاص قعدت متولعة بيها ونجيها يومي كل يوم توا في المزرعة لي 35 سنة باهي وتعبة فيها مش غير نجي وخلاص من مطرح بعيد لكن دايرة تعبة شوي مش غير ماشي جاي ما حتى كان في عامل يشتغل لكن أنا ديما نشتغل معاه ما هو غير العامل وخلاص ديما يشتغل من الصبح ل2 ل3
nowadays we could see a lot of worker or laborers from neighboring country, and we know that Chad, Niger, Mali, they are a poor country, and they are migrating to Libya in order or searching for job or searching for work. And the people, they are highly sympathized with them, and they find that that's a good way to support their way of living. In the meantime, they provide, a good work for the people they hire them, especially in agricultural activities.
Alongside the small plots, Al Jufrah now also has many